The doctor will see you now.
Right. Hey, look, it's Krusty the Wank Sock. Finally brought into its fruition. James Sanders, who was with us last week, he said, I'm going to do a drawing, and this is how his drawing came out. And so now he's on a t-shirt, folks. That's right. Krusty the Wank Sock is a beautiful thing.
There's the drawing. Beautiful.
James says, you did it, Scott. Now we just got to come up with a voice for Krusty. I'll get to work. And
he sounds a lot like you.
He does at the moment. I'm just flapping his gums. So he's mute at the moment. Poor little fucker. So yeah, if you guys want to spend a couple grand on Krusty the Wank Sock merch, it's out there. Available in the mug, decals on your stickers. Decals on your stickers.
And tonight we will auction Krusty off.
Oh, with a full load.
I like hang on to Krusty. You better hang on to Krusty because he's an original.
He is an original.
Yeah, I like how mine and Ed's avatars look like a big pair of bollocks.
Oh, there's Krusty.
My bollock is better than your bollock.
I think yours is a bit swollen, but you know.
If you'll notice on the screen, you can see Krusty, and he's got two balls down there below. One's Duncan, one's Ed.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
That's one of Duncan's favorite shows, man. The Three Stooges. They rock hard.
Yeah.
That's Dana's dog's favorite. Ed Dana's dog.
Oh my God.
One of his favorites as well. I like that. Bronze Snake says, sock it to me.
We got to stop that barking over there.
Hey, Duncan, can you pull up the other sock? I know he's got, there it is. It's got a big glowing CX7 power tube in his cranium.
Looks like an EL84 to me.
Oh, an EL84. It is, by gummit. It's got a, yeah, that's a tube sock. I know, bad joke, but there it is. If you've never seen a tube sock, that's what a tube sock looks like. Okay, I want to see
a tube sock. Oh, why didn't I see that coming?
That's right. Ed wasn't here when the tube sock idea came to be.
A joke so bad that James drew a picture of it.
Yeah. He drew 3 or 4 different things. He goes, Scott, the pictures I sent you the first time, throw them away. He goes, now I got your tube that goes on top of the tube sock actually glowing now. So you got to have it glowing. So it depends on how dark the shirt is, if I need the glow. So anyway, James, I tried to do my best to recreate your Krusty image. I wonder what that boy draws sometimes when we're not looking. If he can flat out get on it. Okay, I was talking to you last week about Krusty the Sock, so I figured I'd stick with it. No, I'm shitting with you. What the hell you guys up to? I'm looking. What the hell is a bandersnatch, Bronze Snake?
I've heard the Bandersnatch thing, but I can't remember.
You have. Oh, John Pearson, he's driving and can't type, but he'll be listening till he gets. That'll be a boring fucking ride. Let's see. Monday morning, I'm reading what AB says. Got Gil Lamb and Gil. I saw you hopping in the car and you had the show on your phone. Just want to let you know I did see that. So I've been spying on you. And let's see.
John Landino.
Who?
John Landino's here.
I'm looking.
He's always here.
Well, what's his screen name?
John Landino.
That's funny. Let's all get this party started. You guys want me twerking? I can twerk now.
Show him the wall, Scott.
Oh, you guys want to see my wall? There it is. The wall of empty guitar hangers. It does exist all the way down behind the speaker and out the other side. And the wall behind me is getting thin. There's 2 full racks that hold 7 guitars each down there, and there are 5 guitars left in that. So, yeah, we're getting, like my hair, thinner and thinner, kids. They're going away. Hey, I've got 2 guitar boxes sitting over here that somebody bought, 2 different somebodies. And both those motherfuckers, let me tell you how it really is, are giving me shit. One of them says, yep, I'll take it and send me the PayPal invoice. I sent the invoice. Oh, I changed my mind. I found something I want more. And that's after I cleaned it up, got it pretty, set it up, packed it up. And so, yeah. And every time something like that happens, I take it off the website and stuff so nobody else thinks it's for sale. Once I delete it from there, all the information that I have acquired about each instrument over the life of it living with me goes away with it. So now I got to list it back on there again, along with another one, which is the red sparkly Stratocaster that does not have a pick guard. Some motherfucker on eBay bought it, and all of his positive feedbacks, because sellers are not allowed to leave negatives, all of his positive feedback say, motherfucker don't pay, blah, blah, blah. He won't answer questions. If you're trying to get a hold of him, of course, he won't answer back. And guess what? He didn't pay. He don't answer any fucking questions, blah, blah, blah. So,
well, then he don't get a guitar.
Yeah, but it's off my site now, and I have to go look up, try to find all the bullshit about it again and relist it. And what a pain in my ass. I had like 8 guitars getting ready to go out, Sunday after last week's gig on here, and I started slapping all these guitars together and had a big Monday run, to UPS and FedEx, and minus a couple of them that were supposed to go, but now everybody has to trip over them when they come into the house, and just kind of sucked. But hey, it happens. But not to me, God damn it, what the hell? I hear about it happening to other people, but I'm too pretty for these things to happen. Did I ever tell you I'm related to Cassius Clay?
No.
Yep. We're both just that pretty. That's all we have in common, but I'm just reading, sorry. What's the cheapest way to mail a guitar, Scott? I'm going to say FedEx ground by a couple bucks is generally what I see. If you take it into FedEx or UPS, you're going to pay an extra $25, $30, $40, $50 to let them put a label on it for you. Post office is expensive, but then again, you can't ship a bass via the post office unless you cut off 2 inches off the bass guitar boxes that are sold on Uline, which is the only place to get boxes. Everything else is so expensive. I know on Reverb, they're about almost $350 for 10 guitar boxes. That's fucking nuts.
Wow.
So I go on to Uline and they have the same thing for like $130 for 10 of them. So yeah, you blow the money on a couple of guitars that you've sold. You blow
Back
that on.
Back in the day.
Back in what?
Back
the
in
day?
Back in the day, when I was doing
when
stuff.
it was actually daytime over there, since you're in the night wee hours of the morning now.
When I was working in London, I'd just like walk down Denmark Street every Thursday.
You were working?
Yeah, when I used to work, and out Denmark Street, there's all the guitar shops down there, and on every Thursday, the streets would be full of guitar boxes that they were getting rid of,
really?
and so you just like pick a couple up and take them home. It's quite interesting because you open the boxes up and it's got all the instructions and tools and everything inside them still.
Oh yeah,
they don't give those away, But
yeah.
I had about 5 of them in the garage, and I cut 4 of them up and put them out for the recycle, and I kept 1 just in case. I don't know
right.
in case of what,
but just in case. The weird thing about guitar boxes, okay, they charge you more, of course, for the extra less than a foot tall that the bass guitar boxes are instead of the guitar boxes. But me and my weird ass, as everybody has been telling me, my weird taste in guitars and grotesque and ugly taste in dressing up my Stratocasters to look pretty. Nobody wants them because they're not original. They've been modernized by a freak that doesn't have their particular aesthetics at heart. But most of my guitars are really odd shaped, the Flying V's, the Explorer things.
Finding a box is a nightmare.
Yeah, I got to put guitars inside bass boxes for the most part. So that's been unbelievable on the shipping end. But people keep asking me, hey, will you give me $100 off that? I'm like, okay. And how about splitting the shipping with me as well? It's like, fuck, man, where do these people get off? It's like I'm not it's not Goodwill store over here.
I'm not giving them away. I'm selling them.
You would think, but yeah, everybody wants one for free, and
tell them, hey, I ain't Sweetwater, ain't no free shipping.
No, can't afford that. Yeah, one guy's like, he was over in New York, and I'm like, yeah, it's $135 shipping. He goes, well, what the fuck, man? I got a guitar and there's only $45 shipping last week. It's like, where'd it come from? Jersey. It's like, well, no fucking shit, man. It's like I'm 2,500 miles away. Anything on the other side of the Mississippi River costs more money. So people don't get it. Hey, we got Gary. Holy shit, Gary Graves. Mr. Groovy, I'm from Muncie. Yep. And was wondering if you heard about the Greenwood Mall. Yes, I did. The shooting over there. I used to hang out there all the time when I was acting like I was a normal person, meaning I was a hotshot fucking celebrity at any given age back in Indiana. I'll tell you what, that's sad about the mall thing, and it has to happen somewhere, but it's not supposed to be in our own backyard, huh?
No, it doesn't have to happen. That's the problem.
Well, it depends on the demographic.
The demographic?
Yeah, the 13% graphic. I didn't say that. Anyway. Okay, what is it? See. So what would it generally cost to send a guitar to the Canada or vice versa? I have a story. I just sent a 12-string acoustic to Canada, and it was a chick. I got a story. Somebody remind me about a chick after I'm done with this, because I can't remember things, especially in edible state of mind. This chick's like, can you send it to Canada? Like, okay, I'll send one fucking box out of the country. Only $450 for the 12-string, the Alvarez that I always have on here, if I'm whipping one out. If I'm whipping one out, you better step back, because I don't know how big this thing's going to get. Anyway, they ended up charging me twice on the damn thing. They got it from here to Ohio, from Nevada to Ohio. Then they charged me an additional $60 or $70 on what I had already paid. And the lady who bought it had already paid all the tariffs and the duties, the duties due on it. And then they hit her with it again on her end. So between the money they hit me with and the money they hit her with, ended up in combination being more than what the guitar sold for. So God bless America and Canada both. They both fucked up on that one. And some chick, yeah, that's what I was going to say, wrote to me about one of these live shows, but she just wrote that during this past week. She wrote about my beard. And if you're in here, stand up and be counted. Said my beard makes me look creepy.
She should see you without it.
No shit. I haven't seen me without it since I gained all the weight. I don't know how many chins I have under there. I guess I could feel, but I'm not feeling an extra one, but I know it's got to be under there. And she said, and I think it was the last time I threw an edible down my gullet, the particular video she was talking about, but saying, well, I like the content of some of the shows, but things just drag along. Can't you speed it up? It's like, not today, honey. Things are going to go very slow, and they're going to go this way, that way, and the other way. So,
yeah,
it's just same old guys in here just yakking. Otherwise, stand up, be counted, let everybody know you're a chick, and let them throw their typical, well, I'm a virgin type mentality or way, and I'll try to hit on you even though I don't know what you look like.
So it doesn't look creepy on Santa Claus then?
No, it don't look creepy on Santa Claus. It somehow just makes me unapproachable.
Well, like James Sanders says, the beard makes you look creepy, but having a wank sock with eyes doesn't.
How about I put a beard on the sock? No, then I'd need a new shirt. Never mind. But James, just to let you know, I wasn't going to forget about you, buddy. I ordered me a wank sock shirt, and I ordered you one too. So when yours gets here, I'll send it over your way. So since you designed the damn thing, of course, I'm going to send you a free shirt. So, yeah, it's been ordered. You'll get yours right after I get mine. They're slow. If anybody's ever ordered from them people, they're slow. So if you want to, again, grab some groovy merch, they're slow. But you will get it. James says, thanks, man. You don't have to do that. Yeah, I do, man. You've been a good dude for, the last 14, 15 years I've been on here. Since 2006. I don't know how long that is, but...
Well, we've only been on for 21 minutes.
Oh, that's true. That hadn't been that long then. Hey, I took a live stream right before we came on the air here. Got some of it on the toilet seat, but I wiped it off, so all's good. But it was a live stream. I didn't like videotape it or anything for y'all. Hey, Ed.
What?
What do you want to talk about today?
What you got left?
Oh, I've got all kinds of junk, but I would rather talk about other stuff. How did your latest vacation go?
It went okay.
Oh, so it sucked?
No, it went good. My mother and sister were here from North Carolina, and I got to take my mother around the village on a golf cart. And it never occurred to me that when we were little kids, she never drove down all them little back roads. So she didn't even know any of that stuff. She goes, I didn't know all that stuff was back here.
So you had explored the grounds more so than she ever did.
Thoroughly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, GW, how you doing, buddy? I'm sorry. Keep going, Ed. I was just welcoming new people.
That's it.
I'm going to let Ed jump in on this one because I know the answer and he knows the answer. There are people, and yes, it's a musical thing because I like to stick musical things out there every now and then. Because people right now are talking about solid state amps, and I was talking about Krusty the Tube Sock, who is still on the internet. So that's the Tube Sock. And so solid state amps and tube amps. I'm more of a solid state or what would you call it?
Solid state guy.
Yeah, solid state, and there's another name for it that's not tube, so it would be
transistors.
Yeah, with all that shit in there. And I hear people asking this question, and it's funny to me. And it happens more and more and more now that more and more people are getting on the internet. But again, I always watch the majority of the Philip McKnight show, and this one kept hitting. It always does over there. And he don't answer it that much because I think he's tired of it as well. But since nobody has asked, I'm going to answer it. People ask, does that amp take pedals well?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's like any amplifier you have is going to take pedals well. If you plug a pedal into it, if you take a chorus pedal and plug it into it, and plug it into a full Marshall tube stack, or you plug it into a brand new little PV 15 watt amp, it's still going to sound like a chorus pedal.
I was a solid state guy.
Right.
All my life because that was what I financially had access to.
Sure.
There was a PV dealer in town that I could buy PV amps from. He'd let me make payments. There was also a Fender dealer in town who would carry. He would have he never had like a Vibro Champ or a Champ amp. He'd always have twin reverbs and deluxe reverbs that were like, you know what? I'm not even making the payments on that. Screw that. And I'd go to the PV dealer and I'd buy the PVs. Now, later in life, I took a chance and bought at a pawn shop a Blues Junior.
Right.
And I liked it. And then it went kaplooey.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought another one that hasn't gone kaplooey yet. But I've always been a solid state guy, and a lot of times I make sure I have one in the van because if the tube amp goes, then
right.
you gotta be able to finish the show. You got to grab something, and that PV Envoy doesn't take up a whole lot of room. It's real light. It's 40 watts. It does the job. It takes pedals well, and so, yeah, and I'm working on a video now that I have kind of half done. Last night, I watched a gentleman who I watch, whose name is Sean Daniels.
Okay.
And he's a young gentleman who is a fabulous guitar player. And he reviews guitars, but they're guitars that he has to pay for himself.
Right.
He does lessons. He played the other night for 3 solid hours, taking requests, doing his originals.
Cool.
Not one stinking person threw a nickel at this guy until I finally threw a super chat in after 2 hours. Then another guy did. And then I watched Philip McKnight and watched the super chats fly where he's making a couple $1,000 a night on super chats, answering the same goddamn does it take pedals well question.
Does it take pedals well?
And I swear, people throw the super chat up just so he'll say their name on the air.
Yeah, this is true.
It's disgusting. And you know what? Part of my video premise is you people don't care about music. You don't want to play the guitar. You don't want to be in a band. You want to talk about it.
True.
You want to know what all the latest gear is, what all the fancy bells and whistles are, but you don't give a shit about ever putting the effort in to ever getting out of your bedroom. So, be that as it may, that could rub people wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. And those are the guys that are making all this money.
Yeah, the ones with that are answering the same shit week after week after week after week after week, which
after
is
year after year after year.
Yeah, which is everybody but me, because nobody asks me questions anymore. It's a sad world.
Well, there's a channel. There's a channel that I've seen that talks about the war in Ukraine, and basically what he does is he basically he's got like 2 oh shit, what do you call it? 2 Reddit streams.
Nuts. These nuts.
He's got 2 nuts. No, he's got like 2 Reddit posts. That all he does is he plays the videos that are in the Reddit posts.
Okay.
And he's getting like 4,000-5,000 people watching his streams every night, and thousands and thousands in super chat. I saw one person donating $500 in a super chat, and it's like, you do realize you're not supporting the war in Ukraine. You are just literally funding a channel who is just showing you videos. And again, it's like what Ed says. I think people just want some kind of recognition. And to prove a point, if anyone super chats tonight, we won't even fucking mention it.
That's right. Just out of respect. Just so you're not a name.
Well, and it irks me because somebody like Scott, who put content out for years and years and years and never monetized his channel, and people bugged him all the time. Monetize your channel, Scott. Monetize your channel. You'll make thousands. You'll make millions. You'll set records. You'll be God. Okay, I'll do it. Oh, wow. Thanks a lot, yo.
Jump ship.
Scott sold out. What a cunt.
Yeah, Scott sold out.
Right now, I'm selling out of
my
everything. Selling out my channel.
You can buy the Mick Foley of guitar. I like that one. You can buy Scott's soiled underwear now for.
Who was the Matt Foley? Remember him?
Well, Mick Foley was the wrestler, Mankind and Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
He was a crazy bastard.
Do you remember Matt Foley?
Was he a musician?
Nope.
Matt.
He was a fictitious character
in a movie or a TV show.
Weekly TV show.
Okay, you clue me in. Who was it?
They're close. They're gaining in.
No, that was Foley.
There you go, Bronze.
Living in a van down by the river. It was Chris Farley.
Yes, it was Matt Foley. And that's where I'm going to end up, folks, after this guitar sale. Living in a van down by the river.
Axel Foley was Eddie Murphy. Foley was Eddie Murphy.
This is true. And
that's that song they play on that stupid Crazy Frog video.
What?
Axel's
the Neutron
theme.
Dance?
Axel's theme.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you ever hear his big #1 hit with him and who's the El Negro that plays bass that's dead? Rick James. So
the original Super Freak.
Yeah. But Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Murphy had his own song out, which had Rick James' bitch at the end of it. There he kind of sang, my girl wants to party all the time. That was him. That was Eddie Murphy. There it is.
Well, this beloved abstract, Gary Graves makes a great point. You know, those same channels, they get free gear from the big companies. So they're getting money there.
Sure.
On top of the money they get thrown at them. But the people with talent are ignored.
Thanks, Duncan. I'm not supposed to say his name. Go ahead, Ed.
But the people with talent are ignored. You know, and it's like, I'm not going to say that I'm talented by any stretch, but look at my band videos. I get views by the tens.
By the tens. I used to get those views too. It's like you do all the stuff. You take your videos, your stuff to the hell. When I was playing, it took a lot more, man. You had to take a fucking camera that held a VHS tape in the side of it to the gigs, and I'd post those, and nobody gave two fucks about the live gigs. I don't know why. Probably because they're never going to play one, and therefore it doesn't interest them. I would imagine that, again, considering the dominant age of the folks that come here, I would imagine that most people are just playing for themselves or, with another buddy now here and there and stuff. I doubt that too many people are ever looking to play for a living.
Well, there's another guy. His name is Albert Bouchard.
Okay.
He was the drummer from Blue Oyster Cult. He wrote a lot of the lyrics. He's got a YouTube channel that is an absolute crying shame. No one cares.
Yeah.
He couldn't get a view to save his life, except for me and one other guy from New York.
Yeah, some of the best channels are just viewless. They just want the cookie cutter crap, and it's like amazing. But
did you see my video on my Fishman Loudbox Mini?
Yes, I did.
I got that puppy for free.
No shit.
Well, no, actually, I gave him a very expensive Ampeg bass amp that.
Oh, you traded that off?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, to my brother, I could always get it back, but
okay.
Why?
Right. It's right there to be tossed around, and
Linda's got other bass amps. We got more bass amps than we know what to play on, so she bought the whole Heart THD set.
There you go. Hey, read what Shield just wrote.
People want to learn a quarter of a song just to get by. They don't want to learn to play the whole song. That's why people like Marty are so popular. Quick, easy, half-ass lessons. Now, Marty actually teaches the whole song.
Sometimes.
And he's simple. Marty, I got to give a pass to, because he was one of the first that I saw doing what he did, doing what he does. and he's stuck with it to his credit. And he is a likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, how many times can you answer, what's the best guitar for a beginner to buy?
And they sit there and answer
recommend? What's the best humbucker?
Do you have any? Does that amp take pedals? Does it have a 1/4-inch jack in it? It'll take fucking pedals.
Yeah, Justin Sanderco. Justin Sanderco is around too. But and this channels that can you make a Squire
sound like a Fender
as good as a custom shop Fender? No,
yes.
You fucking can't.
You take all the parts from a custom shop Fender and replace every last piece to your Squire.
Tell him, Duncan, it's like Trigger's new broom. Well, I've had the same broom for 25 years.
Yeah, I'll replace the handle 3 times.
15 new handles, 14 new heads, but it's the same broom.
It's the same broom.
Listen to you, watching Only Fools and Horses.
For people wanting to actually know about amps, do they take pedals? Okay, there is one thing to consider, and that is a particular kind of pedal that tube amps take and make what they're trying to do happen that does not work with solid state amps. And that is if you buy things like just simply a boost, a clean boost pedal that you're trying to shove a lot of power into at the preamp stage. So you're going to really push your preamp tubes to give you the preamp distortion instead of the power amp distortion. They're way different sounding. The power amp distortion, you have to turn the amp on 9 or 10 to get any breakup on it. But if you go with the Fender Twin, you can actually get natural distortion from a twin reverb, which is not supposed to happen.
Stage up.
That's right. Turn the gain stage up with a clean boost pedal. It will kick in the 12 AX7s and what have you and kind of fry those. It won't fry them that you have to replace them, but it makes them hotter. And then you go to the year 1955 from 1985. Then you try to get back to the future, where these pedals actually put out a clean signal, again, to simply drive your tubes harder for that sound at a lower volume, and you cram that into a solid state amp and it just simply gets louder, no dirtier at all.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's about the only pedal that will pass by. Do they take pedals? That's about the only situation I could think of. If you're throwing in goofy shit, like your tube screamers and other such things, then it makes zero difference to a solid state amp or whatever. It's still going to sound like a fucking tube screamer, so all amps take pedals well, unless you're playing. Somebody wrote something about just a minute ago playing their bass amp playing their bass guitar through a guitar amp.
The only amp I ever found that didn't take a pedal was a pig nose.
Pig noses, yeah.
The little suitcase one.
Yeah, that you open up and
with a battery.
Yeah. And that was the way you were supposed to change the tone on that amp. You just had to open the cabinet and close it and change. You'd always hit the low E string since it naturally resonates longer. And hit that and just open and close the cabinet, and it sounds like a wah-wah pedal. Did you ever do that?
No, but I can envision that.
No. I
Well,
have way more of a life than that.
You make it sound like it's a squeeze box.
let me see if this comes out. Let me see if this will come out. Here, hold on.
That's what I call my wife's snatch.
Cord's tangled up here.
The squeeze box.
Luke, I'm talking into a fan. It's not doing it. When I was a kid, to get that effect, we talked into the fan.
Oh yeah, always talked in the fan when eating your edibles. Oh, it's just too cute. Just too cute. And if anybody notices, yes, his eyes are all cattywampus, just like the one down there or over there, wherever it's at.
Well, Paul Fuchs, most pedals do exactly what they say they will do or should through whatever amp you put them into.
Should. Yeah, if it says clean boost, then it's going to give you a clean boost.
Unless it's just a total piece of crap from Kmart.
Right. So it will just simply make your amp louder at a clean volume, unless it's a tube amp. Then it will do what you know it will do. It'll actually make the clean boost sound dirtier. So again, that's the one pedal that goes halfway against the grain of what it's called.
Well, let me put it this way. I take pedals, so send me any pedals that you
any
wish,
pedals,
and
any
I
pedals
take
that
them
suck.
well.
Yep, any pedals that you think suck, or if you have any amplifiers out there that don't seem to take pedals, just send them our way. We'll
If you've
be
got
glad
a
to give them
61
home.
Harmony H34A that you doesn't like pedals, send it to me.
That's right.
Now, well, we've got a pedal for the sewing machine. You press
Ooh,
hard and
those
the
are
thing
cool.
speeds up. Can you
Yeah.
could you put one of those onto an amp and make
All
you
right, I'm
play
going to tell
faster?
you a story. Back when electronic
Do you want to be on camera
drums,
while you tell the story?
back in the 80s when electronic drums were first making the scene and you had the Simmons drums.
Yeah.
My drummer bought triggers.
Trigger.
Put them on practice pads that looked like rototoms.
You bet.
Put them on practice pads, and he took a Singer sewing machine pedal and somehow stuck a trigger in there
And made
a kick drum pedal, and he ran it through an Alesis processing head that had different sounds in it.
Like a D4.
And he made his first electronic drums. And at first we were like, no, dude.
Laughing your ass off, I'm sure.
We're like, yeah, nice try, Fred. Until we went out and played, and he was so loud, we had to tell him, can you turn your speakers down, Fred? and he was like, yeah, I told you this works. And he's been an electronic guy ever since. And now he uses, the Rolands and the Yamahas and the Alesis, and he uses all that stuff. But he made his first ones by himself by taping those triggers onto practice pads,
right,
and such. And now at the time he had to use a real snare and he had to use a real hi-hat and cymbals because he hadn't figured that out yet. But that stuff eventually came along.
Right. Well, that's pretty smart of him, man, to come up with the practice pads. That's basically what everything turned into.
My first guitar amplifier was disconnecting the 2 wires off the stylus of my record player.
Oh, yeah.
And cutting the end off my guitar cord, and with alligator clipping the guitar cord to those things and playing through my record player. I blew many a 6x9.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, she has to usually do the blowing on a 69.
Yeah, you blew who? What? You blew who?
Yeah, remember the coax speakers
Dwight.
trying to blow those?
Oh, my God. I used a cable TV coax to make a 50-foot cable once.
Oh, yeah, to start blowing up more shit.
Yeah, that amplifiers didn't like that.
That wasn't really a pedal, was it?
No, it's just I wanted a real long cord for my pedal board to the amp, and
right.
it eventually fried my amp somehow.
Yeah. A wire's a wire.
That's what I thought. It's wire's wire, it's a wire.
Now, what I've got the choice of here.
50 ohm wire.
Yeah. My amps, the Johnson amps, are digital, analog, and solid state, and tubes, 212 AX7s at the beginning. So I do get the hit them with some strong, clean stuff, and it'll break up. But I've got it on each channel, so it'll break up just as much as I want it to when I hit any of those clean pedals, that are programmed into the amp, so I don't actually have to buy a clean pedal. Don't you hate when people do the little quotes?
No, because I do that all the time. You just can't see me because my camera's off.
Oh.
I have no need for any more equipment.
Oh, of course.
It's just like I had the right to remain silent. I just didn't have the ability.
Right.
Scott doesn't know anything about cabinet impulse responses. He doesn't know anything about modeling or.
I used to do some modeling as a kid.
Well, we
for
won't
this
talk
one
about
guy.
that.
For this one guy.
For this one guy, we won't talk about that.
Oh.
We won't talk about that.
He said I was a good model.
That's I took my car into the mechanic and he says, "I think you blew a seal." I said, "Leave my personal life out of this, would you?"
Rim job.
I had a wet dream in the Gulf Stream.
What was that, Duncan?
You said rim job. I said it's not the first time you said that.
No, of course not. Me and my uncle, we talked about him all the time.
You can't get boner tone. You cannot get boner tone without Krusty the Wank Sock.
This is true. The boner tone, if people have not heard of that by now, just go to videos I used to make when I actually played an instrument or would review any instrument actually, because I use the boner tone all the time. Go ahead.
The guitar player that we kind of released from the band because he walked into walls and shit had a fantastic guitar tone. And I would be, Jerry, how are you getting this tone? He goes, I just plug in all this shit and I plug them all in and there it is.
There it is.
And he plays through a little Fender Vibro Champ, a 67 original Fender Vibro Champ that he put can't remember what speaker he bought. I think he actually got his hands on like a carbon speaker that he put in there because the old Fender one, just the paper disintegrated on him at some point.
Sure.
And he just cranked that sucker up, man. That whole 7 watts just all the way up to 3/4 of the way. And plug all them pedals in and just start stepping on buttons. And that was his tone, man. And it was great.
Wow. Alex is right down my alley or right up my alley or right up anything I've got. He said he loves
wearing a wank sock?
That comes right below that, actually.
In the end, it's the man.
That's right. Where's the one? Okay, it's the one Curtis said. Right above that.
Modeling wearing sock.
Oh, didn't Red Hot Chili Peppers all model socks?
Yeah, they wore wank socks on their wankers.
They did.
On their tallywhackers.
Alex, right above that, said he loves his Johnson Millennium Head, the 250. It's killer. He said he's running it through 2 stereo 412s. I'm doing the same thing, bro. But I'm using my 150 to do it with. So I'm using one speaker that's actually in each side of the amp, plus a 412 on both sides in stereo. So I'm running 10 12-inch speakers in stereo.
And you're doing this where? Right over there.
Right there in my house.
But when he goes out to play a gig, he's using a 15-watt.
Yep. It's got an 8-inch speaker.
With an 8-inch speaker and 15-watt with a direct box to the PA.
A lot of times it is direct. Yeah, I use the preamp version of those amps, the Digitech, and it's just the same amp but without the power.
Well, Larry Lane says, so you have no neighbors. Well, he has no neighbors that he gets along with. Let's put it that way. Scott's amps actually tell time. Every time he turns them on, people start yelling, "It's 2 a.m., you motherfucker!"
Then I know what time it is. Pardon me.
Now, if I knew that outro the other night, I would have been the hero.
Oh, no shit. Oh, that's right. You were mentioning to me recently that you were wanting to maybe grab some of these pedal steelish licks.
Just like that one you just played.
Just like that one. Yeah, the ones that people leave out are the stuff that is played low. Everybody forgets it. That one's a hard one to get. But yeah, it's the low ones that people are always leaving out.
Yeah.
Or this thing. So yeah, it is the low notes on a lot of these that freak people out. Oh, somebody said twang. I love me some twang. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that twang.
I was saying. Wild thing. You make my thing swing. You make everything groovy. Wild thing. You make my thing swing. Down, 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 down. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Touch me there. Down, 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 down. Come on, baby. Touch me
Red
there.
Volkart. Somebody knows of Red. Well, Curtis is showing himself off to be a guy after my heart. Almost everything he throws out there is shit I understand. She loves me for my twang. Is that a current country song? I was watching, there's a channel where some self-proclaimed judge of country artists, that is his job. He claims to be very proficient in knowing everything about their lives. But he talks about what all the greatest new songs are. It's like none. They're really not. So I'm just asking Larry if She Loves Me for My Twang, where that came from, or if that's something you wrote yourself. So I can make a few bucks off of that before Chris Stapleton writes it. Disco pop country. Yes, Mason Ramsey. It's like, who the fuck is Mason Ramsey? Has anybody ever heard of him ever?
Thing is, Scott, songwriting itself
That's where to be.
has gone to shit
It
in
has.
in years. I mean, there's some fantastic lyrics from the past, and there was like a video that came up in my. It came up as an advert, right? For some other video I was watching, and it was some girl. I can't remember who she was, but it was like, I love my X X X X X X X. I'm going to do you X X X X X X X. It's a what is that fucking songwriting these days? Is that did somebody write those fucking lyrics?
Yeah, the black people.
No, she wasn't black at all. She was white as fuck.
Okay.
But yeah, no, and sorry, you know, I know you're desperately trying to be racist, but it's not it's not a black or white thing because the white art is
it's all shit. It's all shit.
Well, there's just no attempt.
Yeah,
No.
well, the kids don't understand real lyrics these days anyway.
So why put them out?
So,
Well,
so why put them out?
my kids do all their playlists on their phones, and my son especially. It's all old songs. He's got
Right.
nothing new. It's all old
A
stuff.
lot of people, thanks to people breaking the law and doing song reactions on these channels, are actually turning people on to the good old days music. And that's the beautiful thing. At least they're getting, even though there are so many reaction channels, at least it's everybody's thing is to educate them on real music. You know, they're going
but I draw the line when the guy does a reaction channel claiming he never heard Freebird.
I never. Wow, that's
yeah. I've never
No.
seen this. I've never heard that. Yeah, right. Never
Yeah,
heard of Queen.
but they're like trying to pronounce Leonard Skinner, and it's all Y's, no other vowels, and they're like Leonard did it.
Yeah. I'm buying it.
Well, a song called, what was it, Free Range Chicken, Free Burger, Free what? Free Watermelon.
Free chicken.
I think
I'm there.
I think we talked about this before. You know, Taylor Swift.
Oh, we've talked about
famous-
Taylor. Yeah, hell,
got
Tay-Tay.
famous about singing whiny songs about her ex-boyfriends, whereas Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, wrote songs about what an asshole her boyfriend was and made him play guitar on them in the band.
I know, it's a beautiful flipping thing, ain't it? To sit there and bitch about your own relationships in the band while you're still sitting there making money about it, and you don't get to bang him when you go home. You just sit there and yell at him for a while.
John Pearson, I'm right with you. I could really care less about how some guy I've never heard of reacts to a song he claims he's never heard. You know, it's just,
Now, William Pembla, are you being serious? That's Mason Ramsey that we're talking about is Brent Mason? Is that without the Ramsey thing? Let me know if that's really just Brent Mason.
No. He said no.
Okay. Say Brent Mason is a fucking amazing animal, but this other
is he the same guy that wrote Classical Gas?
Who, Brent Mason?
No, that's Mason Williams.
No, that's Mason Jars.
Classical Gas.
I've got some Classical Gas.
Don't do it.
Now I've got on the little amp behind me, the little Fender, it's got a patch on here called Keith Urban. So it's supposed to make it sound like Keith Urban's guitar. Now, any idea what his guitar would sound like on a amp that is dedicated to replicate country sounds?
I think you're going to show us.
It is the Fender G-Deck Country Edition. So what kind of country sound does it give us? I have no other pedals. It's just the amp.
That's the Keith Urban setting.
That's the Keith Urban setting.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
Yeah, that's Urban.
Keith Urban plays AC/DC.
Yeah, that's as country as it gets right there.
Gary Graves, there is hardly any better music than the 60s soul singers. A lot of the 70s soul singers. I was listening to Sirius Radio the other day, and they went down a Curtis Mayfield
Rabbit hole,
and I was digging it so much. Smokey Robinson, Curtis Mayfield.
You guys go ahead. I'm just jamming.
Yeah, we see that.
Oh, 38 Special. Cool band.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me look and catch up. Has there been a question the entire hour? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like, why are we here?
Why are we here? Somebody in the chat, at least two of you, remind us why we're here. I don't remember.
Because we love hearing Scott jam.
I know we show up every
because Mummy
Sunday.
and Daddy had a few too many beers one night.
That's why I'm here. 90s had some of the whiniest lyrics. 90s was all about "There's somebody to sing like this." You know, they all Eddie Vedder. Who was that everybody sounded like?
Here's a question. Here's a question, Scott.
Okay.
Does your Johnson take pedals well?
Okay, so my Johnson is plugged in. And there's the controller for the Johnson. It's the big black thing, of course. And the pedals.
The big black thing. You just can't resist, can you?
No, I cannot. And there's some pedals. And it takes them really well. It takes it right up the old wazoo. I see my name. That has to be James. Let's see. Have you ever thought about doing lessons in the style of 38 Special? No, I have not. I don't think enough people give a flying fuck, to tell you the truth, to warrant an actual bit of wood shedding and making the actual lesson. Yeah, the effort wouldn't equal the means. You know, it's just like nobody would care.
That's why I don't. My guitar channel started as guitar lessons. And when I got like 4 or 5 people to comment, I thought, all right, here we go, boy. We're taking off. We're on our way now.
You bet.
And it slowly fizzled out from there.
And those 4 people are still watching.
They're still watching, yeah.
And you know,
most of the ones that are here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Every time you do a live stream, I lose subscribers, but that's okay.
Because you're affiliated.
Guilty by association. That's
guilty by association.
My old got me in a lot of trouble.
Really? It happens. I liked all the shit that came with who's the guy that did the Trogley. Nothing bad against Trogley. He helped me out quite a bit. I was going to say something about
Has he bought anything?
Has he from me?
Yeah.
He hit me up.
Yeah, right. Looking for a deal.
Yeah, he wanted my Corvus. and a couple other things. But yeah, just like he had mentioned on the video itself, he said he was going to get a hold of me and try to get it, but he'll only pay $1,100 as his deal, and then that way he could sell it, which I understand, of course, but I didn't let him have it for that.
He's a billionaire. Help a brother out.
Is he really? He would have to be. Well, that's what people thought about myself. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is everybody was throwing in his comments about, why would you give that stupid fuck, meaning me, any kind of recognition, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it was kind of a half hate thing, when my name, especially a whole video, was put up. It's like, how can you even be associated with that fucktard?
Fuck them.
Well,
how could people expect you to be rich? You spent all your money on those goddamn guitars.
Damn guitars. Yeah. Yeah, and people used to come to me to find out, well, how do you afford guitars? So I told them about it, and how do I flip them? Told them about it, which ones to buy, which ones to flip, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of that information is now lost on a generation, has come and gone, and the rules have changed. It's not just Scott on the YouTube anymore. There's a whole bunch of other people telling them my shit was wrong, not naming me by name, but just getting on the bandwagon of everybody jumping on one successful channel and saying, I'm going to do exactly what he's doing because, wow, look at those super chats. I want part of that. And since that happened, yeah, I'm the devil. But yeah, none of my stuff makes any sense anymore. It doesn't pay, as you can tell, to have the knowledge of what to buy and when to sell it.
Well, what I've seen in the past with guitar channels, I think what we're going to get is a generation of people who are buying Thomann guitars for $199, and then flipping them to $205.
Right. That's about all you're going to see, because that's the name they keep hearing over and over and over. And people get views by saying, this is better than a Gibson in their...
Well, to be fair, it might be.
It will be, yeah. And in their thumbnails on their videos. I get people with me going, you need more clever thumbnails, blah, blah, blah. Then people catch, you got to learn that game, and people will start watching your videos.
Like, they're watching too much Roberto Blake.
Yeah.
They're watching Nick Nimmin. They're going to start blowing rods if they're not careful.
Who's Rod? Stewart?
Yeah.
Was that ever true? Did they ever find out?
No, that wasn't true.
Rod Stewart didn't blow off the whole soccer team?
No, they probably blew him.
Oh, okay. He was a soccer guy, right?
I don't know.
I heard that's why he kicks soccer balls all the time on the stage.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's true. But I don't care if he blew the whole team. That's his business.
He's really into model railway, so he's all right by me.
Oh, he's into soccer, and I'm into socks.
Yes, yeah. There you go. That's a soccer. Scott, do you know anything about the PV Pro 180?
The M80 I do. Oh, there's a gecko outside.
Is he selling life insurance?
I think he is. See, the PV M80, which was an amplifier, they made a combo and a 412 cabinet and a head. The head hardly had anything inside of it. I mean, the actual physical box for the head that was the size of a Marshall full-size head had this much electronics in it, and the rest of the thing was a place where you could put all your pedals, blah, 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 blah in there. They were, if this is the amp he's talking about, watch it, something totally different and new from today. I don't know. But yeah, they were those gray carpet covered amplifiers.
I remember those.
Yeah. They actually were under a different thing. They were actually, there was an amp called the Fender Ultimate Chorus. They took the chorus out and made it into the Fender M80 amps. And I never could fuck mine up. Not, there wasn't, I can't say anything bad about them except for they were way, oversized for what they were. If they'd have just left it in a 112 combo, that was definitely the way to go, because then it would, I wouldn't say stack up.
Well, there was a period of time there. There was a period of time there with the kids where bigger was better.
Of course, that was in the times of the Crate, Blue Voodoo tube amp. Was trying to sit with the big boys, with Marshall and Mesa and Soldano, but it looked like that. They were all going for the same look.
Yeah.
But then again, you would get into, like I said, the Fender M80, and there's, a head in there that could fit in a box this big, like everybody else is using these days. But just a cabinet as big as a 412, that it would sit on. It's all about what it looked like from the front. John Pearson said he loved the M80 chorus stereo, 212 combo amp. I had that and never blew it up. I used it at gigs for a few years until the Johnson came on the market, and then I didn't spend a dime on the Johnson. I had zero money in my pockets, and the lead singer in a band I was at the time was like, you need, because you need a more organic sound. What would you like? And he was hoping I was going to say a Fender Deluxe or something like that, something that was more tube ampy sounding and with no pedals going into it, because we brought an actual Hammond organ on stage, and the set of Leslie cabinets that were in road cases when they were on stage too. It took 5 people, 6 people sometimes to get those upstairs at these gigs. And everybody else was using organic instruments for everything. It's like everything had to be green. So he asked, what kind of amp's going to make you happy, blah, blah, blah. So I said, this new thing. Yeah, so he went out and bought it for me. And ever since, that's what I've been using. But yeah, that whole rabbit hole of Johnson amps didn't cost me a dime until I had to have another. But yeah, before that, it was all about those Fender ones for me. And before that, it was everything Peavey.
Scott, have you ever owned a jumbo acoustic?
Kinda. They claimed it was a jumbo, but I don't think it was. I would not.
It was actually a Jimbo.
It was Jimbo's guitar. Yeah, I remember Jimbo, but there was this damn Washburn thing, and I got it because I strictly wanted more bottom, and it didn't have it. It was thinner sounding than everything else I had, but Washburn called it a jumbo, but it was in no way, shape, or form like a Gibson J200, which is what I consider a jumbo.
The Everly Brothers guitar.
The Everly Brothers guitar. But if I was to have such a guitar, I would have to get the cutaway, which kind of defeats the purpose of a jumbo, because you just cut the O off of the jum. So you're just stuck playing a jum.
A jum.
And then they put their electronics in it. So now the guitar doesn't matter. It's just the same piezo pickup that I have in every other acoustic. But for sitting around the house, I would like a jumbo just to sit around the house with, but nothing's going to take place of the one guitar that I'm keeping as far as acoustic goes. So a dreadnought for me is just the way it's going to be.
Buckseat America says, how do you properly use the contour knob on my Fender Deluxe 112? Well, you turn it one direction or the other.
And see which way you like the sound.
See which way you like the sound. It's probably, I'm guessing, it shapes the mid-range.
It is a mid-range shape thing, yeah. It's exactly what it is. So it changes the frequencies of your mid-range. You can have
focused mids.
Exactly. If you are
scooped mids.
Scooped is for heavy metal. Focused, really focused, is going to give you that money for nothing tone. If you really get into a sound like that, which is a cocktail. God, some of the names they come up with. I would have came up with that eventually. You know, you got the wank sock, then you got the cocktail. Duncan, you're being awful quiet, dude.
Hey, I'm just letting you guys just rock and roll with it. I mean, I got nothing to input.
I like fat dripping bottom, sparkly twinkling highs.
Yes.
And focused mids.
Now, how about reverb?
It's got to be dripping.
Dripping. I know that I asked.
Fat bottoms, my girl's got 'em. Bun cakes. Was it? Yeah.
Okay, here's the guy. Here's the guy.
My gal's got him.
Here's the guy that's right on the ball. Here's the guy that's right on the ball. Hey, Scott, have you had any luck selling your guitars? He's right on the ball.
None.
There's those guitars.
Poontang Boomerang Delay. Yes, I need to have that.
I'll tell you what, Scott. At the
back
end
there, I'm missing about 11.
At the end of this demise of your walls, shall we auction off your wall hangers?
Sure. I've never had any luck getting rid of those for even free before.
Wow. Hey, what they're decent hangers though, aren't they? They're like string swings or something, aren't they?
Yeah, string swing. Yeah, and they cost
they're about
little over $100 each. You know, so
well, even just the individual hangers themselves are about
right
$10 each.
Exactly, and I've added a whole lot to watch it. Each one of them is supposed to hold 5 guitars. Is the hardware that comes with them, but I've got each one holding about 8 because I have a whole bunch of those extra hangers laying around. All the regular guitar stands, you can't give those away either.
When you move, who's going to patch all the holes in the drywall to get the security deposit back?
My stepson.
Oh, okay.
He did the last house.
Oh.
Rosie, she already has him planned to come over. She wants me to pull that down tomorrow, the 2 racks that are empty, and have him start on patching those.
Oh, shit. She's got her bags packed then.
Oh, she's got her bags packed. Yeah. She's like, keep on selling. Nice to see that you're motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Right. So I'm dieting. No, I'm not. I might be dying, but I'm not dieting. I'll tell you what, though. I did lose a couple of pounds the very first week I started selling guitars because everybody from Trogley's place hit here at once, and there were like 20 guitars out of here, like bam. How was that? Bam. And I fucking worked my ass off for a few days and actually broke a sweat this one time. So, yeah, I must have lost 1.5 pounds one day. So I ate 2 pounds of food, and there you go.
I broke a sweat once. Didn't like it.
Oh God, I know.
Didn't like it. No.
She didn't like it when it dripped in her eyes. My sweat. It was from D's nuts.
Yeah, all my sweat comes straight out my bunghole.
Ooh, brown dripping sweat. It's like reverb.
Okay, is it time for the credits? Putting images into people's minds here. I don't think we're going to go there. You're not going to get any fucking super chats from that. I tell you what.
Don't worry, James Sanders. Don't be upset about Scott selling his stuff. He's going to start a porn channel directly afterwards that will be sure to satisfy.
No, exactly. You know what? I actually tried to do that, and my wife told me, no, that'll never work, and I don't want you doing that. And that was simply a guy many moons ago had actually put up a website that
And made $1 million.
Oh, yeah, he did. And all he did was take his wife's head and superimposed it on other people's body. He put it
my God.
He put it on Oprah's body. He put it on other people's bodies. Blah blah blah. It didn't matter whose bodies, but it was his very mediocre looking wife's head, and he did that all the time and became a millionaire.
Jesus.
People would tune in each time that had fetishes of seeing his wife's head on.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take porn stars and put them on your body.
Ooh, I think
with,
you might be
with your
something.
beard.
Ooh, can I put my feet in there too?
Well,
some people are really into feet.
We'll give
I
you
had
8.
a beard on my feet.
If people are into feet, we'll give you 8 feet or something like that. You know,
I got it. I got 8
like a spider groovy.
Well, Scott can start a new YouTube channel called Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
I was that close. I was this close.
Have you people out there seen the country Hank? It's basically Your Cheating Heart and Jump by Van Halen crammed together.
I've seen a few of those, yeah.
Yeah. That's about the funniest fucking thing I've seen. I know it's been out for years now that I've been made aware of it by Facebook. Somebody posted it, and man, I had a nut and another nut that both just fucking exploded. See, James says, yes, I sent you to that Facebook page. Man, it's honestly the funniest fucking thing I've seen in a long time. So I must be out there to find that thing the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. But I'd play that on stage, man. That would be fucking awesome. I just like it that much that I would.
Oh yeah, some of those are really clever. They're
that was yeah. I found another one that was I don't know if it was AC/DC doing the same type of thing that somebody put together, but it was fucking awesome.
Well, I loved it when Puddle's Pity Party played Folsom Prison and sang Pinball Wizard.
Yes, I remember that of all flipping things. I actually know that.
Then he played Pinball Wizard and sang Folsom Prison.
That's the one I liked.
You play a few mashups at your gigs, don't you, Ed?
No, not anymore.
Oh, well, screw me then. I'll shut up.
Well, we used to, but we don't do it anymore.
What were the words to? Well, you got your guitar right there, Ed.
Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball.
Ever since I was a
young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all, but I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
fucking amazing. I love the fact of exactly how much delay was between each of us. It's like, okay, I know I should play a little bit after him so it will come through. Well, sound is slow.
I'm sure it was perfect.
I'm sure it was. It had to be. Philip McKnight's show
Well,
shut
he doesn't do any covers.
No, never. I don't think I've ever heard him sing a note, but his stream shut down Friday night. He was streaming from his car for his Friday night show. I was there and got my name mentioned a couple times.
That must have been a bit hard to have all the gear in the background.
Yeah, he's like, I got a mountain behind me, and everybody's like, I see a telephone pole or whatever. It's like, ain't no fucking mountain out through that dirty piece of glass in the back. But yeah, his wife said that they're on vacation and they want to be in some place that has zero chance of him being on the internet. She wanted him to have a vacation away from the internet. So
and what does he do?
He said his car has Wi-Fi. So he ran everything out of the car.
Right.
And then it just quit.
He didn't want to pooch the old YouTube algorithm by not streaming one week.
Right. So
God.
So that's what happened.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to be going on holiday. Well, actually, no, you're all right. I was going to say we're going away for a few days, and I was thinking, oh, no, it's going to screw you up. No, yeah, because we leave on a Sunday, so that means I won't be here to help you stream. So I'll have to set Ed up to do the old stream.
I'll be on vacation that week.
Me too. When is it?
The Sunday after the 8th of August, I think it is.
Okay.
So that's, hang on, what week are we in now? Is that not next week? The week after, I think. I don't know where the fuck I am. Couple of weeks.
What? Okay. I'm reading up here. What have I missed? Something was retracted. I see. I would hate to have to do this like Philip does it when he does it all by himself, and he's just, hang on. But he'll say at the beginning of the show that he's got 20 or 30 questions already that he's going to get back to, and then already has 20 or 30 super chat questions waiting. But then after answering 2 questions, he's over here looking through let me see what you guys are talking about. Anybody got a question? It's like, what happened to all that was in the queue?
What was the same super chats and questions you had the past 300 streams?
4 weeks. Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
They're going to be the same questions.
Yeah.
Every single time. I know Scott's lead when I hear it. It's unique. That's a kind way of saying it.
Yeah.
John Pearson. Who are they talking about? Oh, Phil McKnight. David got it for me. Everybody's running pass interference. Steve says, what's happening to Gerald? I just thought I'd read over here, see if there's anything for me at all. There's James. He's going to ask me something. If nothing else works, then James will ask me a question. He knows I'm sitting here with absolutely no script and absolutely nobody who's going to ask a question related to guitar or lessons.
Yeah, you see, I think James Sanders has got it. I think this is what we should do in the future. In fact, I suggested this to Ed once, that he just goes live and then just walks out the room and just films his chair. But that was in the days before super chats. So
Yeah.
Okay. See, James says, I've seen people on Twitch literally start up a live stream. That's what you were just saying.
Well,
Yeah,
what I did,
leaving the room.
what I did was I let the guitar feedback, and I left.
And then walk away from it,
and then I just walked away
feed
from
back.
it, and let the guitar feedback for a while. That was my live stream.
Let's see. Let me find a different note. I like it. About like that. People be like, this is the only thing on the fucking internet or on Scott's channel. Yeah, when I'm on, that's the only thing on the internet. There. Now, if you guys have ever owned a guitar, okay, here's the way to do it. You got a switch and you got a volume knob. And you don't really need the volume knob, but who needs a tone control? Not I. That's why that's one of the
wait. Pull that back up again. What's going on the back of that? You got if you got like a boat output jack and what's going on? You got like a side.
They made it correctly, and it's got
yeah.
It does not have a right angle plug on it. They just put it in like it is on my Iceman, the one I had made. So it's plugged in, countersunk.
Yeah, it's a boat. Yeah, it's a boat that's been put in sideways. Yeah, it's nice.
I love that.
Nice. Yeah.
You know what is funny?
Cool.
And it's fine because I have another guitar that went ahead and had it done. And I think I might have rather have left it the way they had it. But with my white Iceman over here, I told them how I wanted it. And it was like this. That's how I wanted it, with the boat in there and countersunk. And when I said I wanted it down there on the back of the guitar, I went and checked the guitar to see how it was coming along. And they had that there, but on the back of the guitar. Literally had cut out the back of the guitar. I'm like, you fools. So they filled that back in with a chunk of wood and hammered it in and filled it up with sawdust and glue all around it. And then sanded, buffed, whatever, and then refinished it. And now these days, if you look real close, you can see that oval where they did that. So it kind of did what wood does, and after it settles for a while.
Yeah, just never going to get rid of that.
It's never going away.
No.
And for people who don't understand, wood and paint and clear coat, they all warm up, contract, and expand
in different directions
and at different time, at different temperatures. One won't move, the other one will. It'll expand, contract, and shit's gonna crack. So if you think you're gonna keep your guitar in amazing condition forever and ever and ever, then keep it in the doors and never take it outdoors, and leave everything, including the humidity, exactly as it is for the life of the guitar.
Just put it in the case, put it under your bed, and forget about it.
That's right. Charvel and Charvet.
Never play it. Never play it. Don't touch it.
Never.
It's just for looking at. Don't touch it.
Don't even point at it. Don't look at it.
Don't point at it. Yeah, that's a Spinal Tap reference for people who don't get it.
I know. It's amazing. Why do some folks prefer 8-inch speakers over 12-inch?
Because they can't take a 12 inches.
They can't take a 12-inch. 8 inches is pretty much the limit for most cases.
It's a tighter speaker.
Oh, the speaker? Oh. I got you.
It responds quicker.
I thought you were talking about 8 inches or 12 inches or something.
Like if you play the guitar through a 15, the speaker moves really slow.
Yeah, we used to play them through 15.
It's still playing the last song you were playing.
Still playing the last song, yeah. Okay. And I would play big open rhythm chords, and that's why that was fine, because I wasn't playing lead yet. I was just playing rhythm and making them mellow with my humbuckers that I was using. And pedal steel guitar players gravitated towards 15-inch speakers because they were just a ringing ambient instrument. So you can get away with ambient instruments and ambient sounds and so forth. But if you're going to get into playing lead guitar, if you want to chunk or chug, generally people go to 12-inch speakers. Bass players are gravitating towards them, but that's only the ones that are on basschat.com. We're at their forums. They're all going to 12s, but nobody else is. Bass players are mainly going to 10-inch speakers, or if they want it even tighter, and something that's going to kick you in the goddamn chest, that's where they go to 8-inch speakers. If you go to Phil Jones, who makes amplifiers for bass players, all of his amps are 5.5-inch speakers, and he honestly has speaker cabinets with like 36 5-inch speakers in the cabinet.
Even PA systems are getting smaller and smaller. I saw a thing for I can look up what it's called.
The array system.
It's called the ProRec Club 400 18-inch array.
Uh-huh.
And it's got I think 5-inch speakers in the arrays at the top, and then you can either get the 12-inch, two 12-inch subs, or one 18-inch sub.
Right.
You can go either way.
But everything that's going to be up in the sky is going to be small.
Yeah.
If you're going to concerts, and we're talking huge, just stuff at arenas or outdoor stuff, all the PA stuff, the stuff that's flown in the air are generally 10 inches. There's a 10 and a 10 in one cabinet, and then a horn, and sometimes a couple of little 5s in between. But there's no such thing as 15-inch speakers flying in the air. Even generally with subs that they sometimes fly as well, those are generally, a whole bunch of, not even a whole bunch of, some have a few 10s or possibly 12s in them, but the days of 15s and 18s have pretty much seen their time, except for with Mexicans. Right now, Duncan's going, here he goes again. Mexicans have a certain type of music they play, the oompa music.
No, that's the Germans. Germans play oompa.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So
I love Latin music.
It's a tuba playing bass instead of a bass guitar. But they fucking crank that shit, and they want frequencies as low as 20 hertz to be felt, not heard. So in those cases, they bring out subs where they're like the size of a house, and they've got 40 18-inch speakers in them.
Yeah.
There are 21-inch speakers now, Well, there was back in the old days too. And there are 22-inch speakers out now. They faded out for a while. Electro Voice made the original ones. Can't remember who's making the new ones now, but they are to strictly handle thousands and thousands and thousands of watts of power, which you need to even generate a single tone out of a cabinet, which is going to actually give you your frequencies. But basically, yeah, it's the only kind of music I know that needs, and they will pay to have that kind of low end going. But
okay, yeah. John Pearson, I'm going to ask your question. John Pearson wanted to know who you would recommend to make a custom neck. Fender?
No. Go ahead.
That was it. Who would you recommend to make a custom neck?
Warmoth.
Yeah, they'll make anything you want.
Yeah.
They'll make Wenge, they'll make hard V, soft C, big D.
That's all on one neck.
Yeah.
Which they will do. If you want to start out with a V into a C.
Or you just find yourself a decent independent luthier.
Or you can do that.
Hard to find these days, I guess.
That's any good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as being able to say without much debate, yeah, Warmoth is going to be the people to get her done. I would not tell Kiesel to make you one.
John Pearson says no, they won't make the spoke wheel Charvel style truss rod. Dude, if you already know the answer to the question that you're asking, don't be tricky. Don't be tricky.
Okay, you can't say the one that the answer is. You should put except for Warmoth. Who do you think can build it? Hey, somebody's trying to call
I
my
guess
phone.
if you want the spokey wheel Charvel, get a Charvel neck.
Ooh, that'd be one way to go. I actually love those necks. You know, I like them pointy. I don't like them so much with the fender headstock on them. Then again, you can't, for the most part, with my eyes, you can't read what logo's on top of the guitar anyway from any distance. Hey, I heard my phone ringing. Could you guys hear it?
No. Is it the IRS?
It probably is. I'll tell you what, YouTube. It'll make more sense in a second. PayPal has held on to any earnings I have made. And they do it for like 30 days. I don't need to have the money in my account right now, but yeah, I've been with PayPal for as long as they've been in business, and yeah, they won't let you have your money for a month. So
bastards.
Just throwing that out there.
For what reason?
I don't know. I honestly do not know.
It's just processing.
They said they can get you your money faster if you provide them with tracking numbers, and then they contact the person. You have to give them the tracking, and you got to give them the email of the person that you sold something to. They have to contact the person you sold it to, and they have to
that's why they're just
verify that they received it, whatever it is, and then they will release that money. Otherwise,
that's the reason. They're just making sure the product got delivered.
Yeah. So if I was making money from blowjobs, how would they contact them to make sure the product was delivered? There's no sucking number, like a tracking number, but I guarantee I deliver.
Well, that's not how I work my Johns. I always make sure there's a tracking number and receipts and all that kind of stuff. So You just know exactly.
With the blowjobs?
You just write it on the cock with a Sharpie, so you know exactly who you've blown that night.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to start my blowing a little differently, I guess, then from here on out. Just charge a little extra if I allow it to get in my mouth.
Yeah, Beloved Extract says they get interest on the money for 30 days. That's probably part of it too.
Ooh,
yeah, exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, PayPal aren't stupid. They're just cunts.
Oh, there's one. New account works to see if they have any return or 4 defects. Here's the shit that gets to me. Is somebody that buys something from me and there's fees to use the goddamn thing, but I don't get the money back if they decide they don't want something. You know, then it's like they took their fees out anyway when you got paid. Like, what the fuck's up with that? It's like you just lose a chunk of your money basically on both ends of the thing, because you end up paying the person back for the money they gave you, but the PayPal fees are gone. They keep them. So I don't get my full money, man. But I give the people their full money back.
Yeah, so PayPal back in the day, it was a genius invention.
Yes.
Invention probably isn't the right word, but it just
worked.
It worked for them. It worked for eBay and shit like that, just buying shitty little things.
But as soon as those two separated and became two different identities.
Yeah, and
people are
selling expensive stuff and things like that.
You just got to jack up your prices, Scott.
On what?
Everything.
Oh, my merch?
Charge more for the guitars. Well, yeah. If they're doing it on the merch too, whatever. But
they're fucking with me on the merch. But yeah, they raised up the prices on the merch, but I went down on the prices to what they were. You know, because it's like, you know, it was, you know, people are bitching about the prices of the t-shirts anyway, but people don't understand that they offered the Hanes t-shirts and all that stuff, that brand, and I opted to go another brand higher than that. So I don't want a shirt that just falls fucking apart, but I know the Hanes stuff is quality, so I went with their premium shirt up above the Hanes things because I want them to stay together. And people think, wow, your stuff is so much compared to the $11 t-shirts that I see advertised. Yeah, but those last one wash.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's where that's at. I give you quality shit, but yeah, their prices did go up. Yours did not. So.
See, the other thing to take into account is you're selling your guitars at what you consider they're worth. Now, in retail, what they do is they pump up the prices to cover all the losses that they make from returns and shit like that. You're not doing that. And
that's right.
So if someone, you know, screws you around, you lose out. Because you're not doing that kind of retail like management, and you know, that's half the problem.
Yeah, even sucking the interest stuff and swallowing it, it's still hard to get rid of all this shit, even at stupidly good prices that people write to me about that goes, well, that's just too high. I'm sorry. That's just, it's like, find another one fucking like it.
Yeah.
Go out there, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But people will pull the trigger on a lesser axe any day of the week as long as it is currently on the lips of YouTube influencers or content makers.
Maybe you should get Philip McKnight to do videos about your guitars.
Yeah.
Get him to promote them.
Just sell Squire Affinity
Squire Affinity guitar. I'm going to trade all my guitars for Squires and then sell them for a
And
shitload.
tell them these are the best guitars for beginners.
Right. These are the best guitars for beginners.
Yeah, become a Toman guy.
We need one more of those channels, don't we?
At least one more.
What's Timothy saying?
He's explaining.
What's he not saying? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's explaining how PayPal is a pain in the ass.
Ah. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I can do that later. To be fair, some Squires are fairly decent. Yep.
Fairly.
Give me a good Squire, and then there you go. I got a good guitar. And that's some Squires, and that's some Fenders, and that's some Gibsons. Not too many.
That's, you know, and my friend who bought the Eart guitar off
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead.
Off of Amazon. Ed, it came with stainless steel frets, and it was only $209, and it's got stainless steel
fret.
How come other guitars have? Jerry, do you realize that there are different grades of stainless steel? There's really low grade stainless steel that will rust like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's high grade stainless steel that's like medical grade, and they're not using that.
Right. They're using the stuff that the World Trade Centers were made out of.
Actually, no. Okay, you stop. I saw that. I saw that in a channel where they were talking about these because it's everywhere. These Japanese chef knives, and they're like is this high grade stainless steel? And when you looked at it, it's just like the lowest grade stainless steel you can possibly get. And and he was comparing it with like chef's knives he got free from Walmart, and they hold the cutting edge longer than these like really super expensive exclusive Japanese chef knives that are around. You'll see the adverts in Facebook, you'll see the adverts on YouTube or whatever, you'll see them, but they are shit because
those sneaky Japanese,
the sneaky Japs. don't you start getting me racist. No, because they are because it is stainless steel, yes, and they say it's high grade stainless steel, but when you actually look at, if you know stainless steel, which I don't, but when you start to look into it, you go, oh yeah, that is the bog standard shittiest stainless steel you could possibly get.
Right.
And this is probably the same thing that's happening with these guitars with stainless steel frets.
It's the equivalent to pot metal. I said
and who wants to play a guitar called an Eart?
Eart. Yeah, it's on everybody's lips. Why? Because they're shoving it down your throat.
Then recently I've seen the videos of guys reviewing the Donner guitar.
Yeah, Donner.
This is such a great guitar for $69. How do they do it? How do they do it?
How can they get away with it?
Well, any guitar for $69 is amazing. Just the fact that it exists.
The fact that it exists, yeah. It's a hell of a world. Oh, what a world! What a world! Where's the one I just saw down here? Was hold on. I know it's there. There it is. See, oh no, I get it now. Where Shield said McKnight will just do a Sharpen My Axe episode. Okay, I got it. That's when we're talking. You got it.
I'm going to do a Destroy My Axe episode, and I'm just going to rip a fucking guitar apart.
Yeah, have people send you guitars. I mean, try to fuck them up. See if they're sturdy enough to merit a good review.
Oh, hey! You know those videos where you have the barn finds of cars, and you get, will it start? And you must have seen those. Why don't we start? Why don't we start doing that on a new channel somewhere where you find barn find guitars, and they're just like covered in mud and shit, and you just like
see if you can go spray it off with a hose.
Will it play?
Yeah,
And
Spray it off with a hose.
of course, you have this shitty guitar, and then you swap it for the good one, like they all do, and then it just plays amazingly. We could do that. We'll make a fortune.
Put $1,000 worth of good parts in there and see if you can make it any better than it was.
Well, some people could disagree with me, but right now I think the best value for your money is probably Fender Mexico stuff.
Me too.
They're using the same shit on them now that the California plant uses.
Do you know what's
2-point trims?
The one guitar that I think is, let's say, flying off the shelves, but they can't fly off the shelves because they sold out in like 2 days. For the people that are buying the Mexican Strats, you have the same or more amount of people, if they could keep the quantity in. They're all buying the SE version of the Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky.
Yeah.
So that's $849.
That's comparable.
Yeah, for $849 you can get the PRS.
But it's made where? China, Korea, or Mexico?
Probably Korea, I'm going to say, if not Indonesia. I don't honestly know.
Or Indonesia, yeah.
Yeah, Indonesia's one of the big three now because Fender has a shop there. Otherwise, everybody would stay away. Let's see, James Sanders, I was just looking at your Dean Cadillac. Did you ever think of making a Hot Rod Lincoln? No.
Nope, never thought of it.
Never thought of it. A few people were looking at that Dean Cadillac and said they were going to buy it, and nobody ever did. So that one's been window shopped to death. People kicking the tires, but nobody laying down a single quarter except for Duncan. He laid down $2. I saw that a minute ago, man. Cut that shit out. He's baiting people.
Shh, don't tell anyone. Didn't and you notice it didn't work.
No.
That was £2 wasted.
That was £2 wasted. Yeah.
I want a refund.
Good God, we've been here for 2 hours already and haven't talked about anything.
Yep. Well,
man.
What's new?
True. Let's see. James is asking, I was just looking at your blah, blah, blah. What is this? In one gig, in a pit band. What's a pit band?
Well, I don't know, but just, a pickup band, whatever. We're playing for some kind of orchestra or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He paid off a $349 Mexico bass in one gig.
Remember when they used to cost that?
Yeah.
Now they're about $1,000. And did you have the miles listed on that site? I don't get it, James.
On the Cadillac.
Oh, on the Cadillac. Never mind. That's why you're here, to sort through this shit so I don't have to look at it. It's like, what was it? Not interesting, so I didn't bother you with it. Oh, Rocky Horror. That would be a horror. I've never been able to stand that thing in any way, shape, or form. Have you ever got into it or once even liked it?
I watched it. It was mildly entertaining. If it was on TV right now, I'd find something else.
Yeah. I never could get into it. Or what was that horrible fucking thing?
I only like one song, The
Sound
Time Warp.
Music.
The Time Warp.
Oh, The Time Warp.
Was the only song.
Sound of music.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock.
Do you know where your children are? Remember when they used to have to ask women that on TV? It was actually a commercial. For those in here who don't remember. Ladies, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? It's like, Wait, I'm drunk on fucking wine. I guess I don't know where they are. I better get out there and look for them. Fuck. Beautiful. Okay, so I guess we get to get out. Absolutely nothing got accomplished, but that's no different than any other week. Says the Silver Sky SE is made in Indonesia. Thanks, Shield. And see what James say. Gerald sent me a link to share to you and everyone for his after show. So I guess Gerald's doing an after show on this day after here. What we'll be doing, I have no flipping idea.
I know what I'll be doing, and it won't be Gerald's after show.
Be doing the dog or the wife or the new guitar amp?
Probably the couch.
Oh, I forgot about the couch. I used to do the couch too. Ever since I got a wank sock. And there's that, space between the two cushions on the couch. You can fuck the couch. Was it only me that used to fuck the couch? Come on, guys.
I got a smart TV. We bought a smart TV from Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how to turn the dumb motherfucker on.
The TV is smarter than you.
That's what I was going to say. You just tell the TV, "Hey, TV, start."
Yeah.
Show
me shit.
Watch this. Alexa, fart.
Oh, she can't hear you because I got headphones on.
Oh, you motherfucker. I love to get Ed's Alexa all wound up, when I talk to him on the off day or the off chance that he'll even notice I'm on Facebook anymore.
I have not been looking
for me.
Busy. At Facebook that much. A little bit in the morning. Then we're outside. We took that long, not long, but we spent 3 days. It was basically 4 days we spent down at the resort.
Right.
My brother's been coming over all of a sudden. For some reason, he decided to start hanging out here, and he does not give a shit about social media. So, and the kid was here last week siding my garage. So I had to be on him like stink on poop just to make him miserable because, I can't let him enjoy himself while he's working. So I have to be out there being a pain in the ass. And
True.
So, but I'll be around a little more now because all that stuff's done.
Hey, read the very last comment.
You made Alexa do it.
Over on James's Alexa, made it fart. We can do that everywhere that anybody has an Alexa. Alexa, fart.
Alexa, I'm just a poor boy from a poor family.
Nope, Alexa doesn't do that.
Oh, shit.
That's only Siri.
Oh, well, Siri's smarter.
Alexa, play Que Sera Sera.
Que Sera Sera is only available on Amazon Music.
That was for.
There are 3 coffee shops in your area.
She's doing it. He says she's doing it.
The song?
Yep.
Alexa, suck my dick. James, is she doing that? He said, yes, the song.
Alexa, annul my marriage.
And now Alexa's like, I'm looking for suck my dick on the internet. Oh, she turned off for that. I guess they have them programmed for that kind of shit, don't they? When you
No,
get
should
into
just go, I don't know that.
right. It said she turned off.
A bit like the wife.
Yeah, they just, hey, suck my dick. Turn off.
I don't know that.
Don't know that. Go look it up on the internet. Who you spend
Go-
all your time with anyway.
You want that done? Go to the park.
Scott turned off another woman. Me and the Bronze Snake got to get together, man. Tell you.
Everybody get to Gerald's for Sunday Night Heat.
Sunday Night Heat. We are in heat. Typical one. I have a bitch and a complaint, and I've done this. I've thought of this, and I've told people this for decades. And I don't know why every band I've ever been in, every musician I've talked to, every set list that I have looked at have all been incorrect on the Rolling Stones Honky Tonk Women. That's the name of the song, WOMEN. And women is plural, woman
And
with
woman
the WOMAN is singular. Okay, that's why you look on the women's bathroom and it says women instead of woman because they have more than one toilet. So Honky Tonk Women is the name of the song, not Honky Tonk Woman. I know it's no big deal, but I was watching some reaction videos to it, and it was misspelled every fucking place you could do it. So there you go. I just had to get that one off my chest. Why? Because it was bugging me when I was on the internet yesterday or the day before. That's why I'm bringing it up today. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. That's worth at least a good 20 in the super chat. Oh, come on. Speaking of which, hey, it's time to get the fudge out of here. Ed, any parting words or farting words?
No.
No?
Wow. Wow. Sell it. Build it up, baby.
Literally, no.
No. I've been back since 2 weeks ago, and what do you got to say? Nothing. I'm good.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm good too. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to be able to stand when I do, if I'm not going to fall over. And I'm going to let Duncan get us out of here, man. You guys take care. Play with your socks. Let your socks enjoy you. And I'll catch you next week. Dunk.
Wow! Thank you everybody for turning up, and it's been a great show tonight. What a lot of rubbish that was. A lot of shit. And, but it doesn't matter. You know, you all came here and listened to Scott rant on about stuff. And, you know, if you wanted to rant about different things, you know, you have to ask the fucking questions in the chat. So do that. Maybe next time, just remember that. You got this show is based on your interaction. So, you know, the more interaction we have with you guys and the more shit you throw at Scott, the more shit you're going to hear from him. So thank you very much, everybody, for the super chats. Well, that was just me. So fuck the rest of you. I know you're all penniless fuckers because you're all musicians. What do we expect? And so, well, hopefully we'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Please come back. Please come back. So, Scott, say goodnight and I'll hit the credit roll.
Oh, here's my comeback.
Scott's back.
It's got a lot of cum on it.
That's right. And everybody, once again, enjoy the sock.